Already, I think we're live. Hey, Carlos, you here?
I am.
Okay, so this is what's funny. I did the same thing last week. I hit the refresh page right after I went live.
Uh-huh.
So as soon as I say we're live, we're not live. But anyways, we should be good right now. So let me check. Yep, sweet. Cool. We got a lot of people on the live hangout tonight. Welcome everybody. This is Jim Chow here, and I'm very excited about the hangout tonight. Carlos, you here?
I am. You can hear me?
Yeah, no,
Uh-huh.
that was actually that was something I said like a minute ago, literally. That was like a recording. I have no idea where it came from. But folks, welcome to I Am Lifestyle Hangout. We got a special guest tonight with an amazing story, and many of you guys on the Hangout, you may be new to make money online. You may have been in the game for a while. You may have had success. You may be brand new and haven't got your success. And I know for me personally in this industry, it took me years of not seeing results before I start seeing massive results. And as a matter of fact, the first time I heard of this gentleman that we have on a call tonight was when I first came online not too long ago. I was researching, looking for leaders, seeing who's making it happen, and I've seen this guy around. In fact, I saw a couple of affiliate product launches, and he made to top of leaderboard in several affiliate programs. And we actually had a brief moment that we met in Atlanta. Kevin Aquano was there. I'm not sure if he remembers, but this was a few years ago. And then finally, when DS Nomination came around, we got on the phone, connected, and now we have the privilege of having this gentleman here with us today. And only a couple of weeks ago, when I was featured on one of his hangouts and I heard a short version of his story, I was absolutely inspired by where he came from and also what he's been able to do, and as well as so many people online, even people making money we see online, they literally work countless amount of hours. Seems like they're online, they're in front of the computer 24/7. And I can tell you that I know a lot of leaders in this industry that do work literally 24/7, don't take any time off. And what's impressive about this gentleman we have on this call fits a perfect image that the brand that we're creating here with I Am Lifestyle. He is living the I Am Lifestyle, a few hours a week of work at max, and generate a lot of 100% autopilot residual income and living the lifestyle without getting glued to computer. I personally don't believe that you should be glued to a computer when you're making money, because you just bought yourself a job, and that's not why you're here. But with that said, I want to have the privilege and honor to bring out Mr. Carlos Aponte Jr., and this call is going to be a lot of fun. Hey, Carlos, are you there, my friend?
I sure am. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. I'm excited to just kind of hear how long have you been in this industry, and I know you have some crazy background before this industry. How did it all came together for you?
All right. Well, great question, and hello everybody. I'm excited to be here. Jim, you're a tremendous leader as well. I mean, the I Am lifestyle is amazing. This brand that you're putting together and everything that you've done so far in such a short amount of time, you're definitely inspiring a lot of people, and I'm glad to be working with you. But to answer your question, I've been in this industry since the age of 17. I'm 38 years old. I got involved, wow, a long time ago. I got involved in this crazy world of home-based business. I started off with network marketing, Jim. I think at the first time that I saw those circles on a whiteboard, I don't know if you remember those when people used to draw these circles.
Absolutely.
I fell in love with the industry, and to tell you why I fell in love, I grew up in New York City, born and raised in the Bronx. I don't know if you are familiar with the movie Beat Street or the breakdancing movie. That movie was actually filmed on my neighborhood, and the Rocksteady crew and those people in that movie were the people that we looked up to in my block, you know. And the sad part is that our role models and people that we looked up to weren't the best the best role models, right? And when I was young, I got caught up in that whole scene of the drug dealing, the hustling, that whole fast lifestyle. And it wasn't because I was a bad person. It was because we didn't have any other options. I thought that was the way to do it. I remember my dad saying, don't hang out with those guys. And I used to look at my dad and say, man, those guys have all the nice cars. They've done movies. They got nice houses. These guys are living the dream. They got all the girls. So my role models and mentors growing up were the bad guys from the wrong side of the street. And I kind of followed in that footstep, and I kind of got caught up with that whole mix. And when I was 17 years old, I remember I had just came out of jail, and I wanted some change, right? Everybody goes through this, and I remember my family struggling, and my family always supported me. And I had really good parents and grandparents and people that really cared about me. And they was like, Carlos, you know what? You got to change your life. You're too smart. You can't be doing this. And I remember taking a train ride. This is funny. I don't think I've shared this story in years. But I remember taking a train ride from the Bronx to New York City, Jim. And I saw a bookstore. I got to 34th Street, Penn Station, where Madison Square Garden is at, and I came out the train, and I was just trying to clear my head and just find myself. I'm 17 years old, and I saw a Barnes & Noble for the very first time. This is a bookstore, and I went in, I saw a whole bunch of people going into this bookstore, and I was just browsing through the aisles in a bookstore because I'd never seen a bookstore before, you know, believe it or not. I never saw a bookstore. So I saw the self-improvement section of the bookstore, and then I saw this book called The Awaken the Giant Within by Anthony Robbins. And it had Anthony Robbins' face and a big smile, and it just stood out, and I said, oh man, Awaken the Giant Within. And I picked it up, I looked at it, I didn't steal it, I actually bought the book. I actually bought the book, and I left, I went back on the train, and as I'm skimming through the book inside of the train, there was a card inside, a postcard. Talk about old school marketing. There was a postcard inside of the book that said, make $5,000 to $10,000 with your own business. And I'm a 17-year-old kid. I opened that up and I saw that card. I was so excited. I called the telephone number, and they invited me to an opportunity meeting. And that was the first time I found out about MLM, or home-based business. And I remember going to that opportunity meeting. I was so excited. I saw them drawing those circles on the board, and I remember saying to myself, man, nobody would ever do bad things growing up in the ghetto if they knew this existed. I just fell in love. So I always say that the network marketing profession saved my life because it was the only opportunity that was available to me based on the way I grew up, and the only thing that opened its arms out to me. It didn't matter if I was tall, bald, short, gay, straight. If I made some mistakes, they just accepted me with open arms, and I just went all in right away. And that was when I was 17 years old, and it was a roller coaster ride, like anything else. And I remember doing the grind, the business meetings, and inviting all the friends and family. And I had success early on because I had good credibility with my family, and my family didn't want me to go back into that lifestyle of the street lifestyle. So they supported me. Whatever I brought to the table, they said, hey, you know what? If it's going to keep Carlos off the streets, we're going to do it. And the sad thing about that whole, it was a good experience, but like I didn't know what to look for in a company. I didn't know what to look for in a team. And within a few months, that company went out of business. And I remember my dad telling me, hey, Carlos, you know, there's criminals in every profession, including those pyramid schemes. He used to think it was a pyramid scheme. But I met some great people, and the rest is history. You know, we stood the course, we stood in the profession, and we were able to build a really big business, a $5 million a year business by the age of 24, 25. And it's just been great, you know, and I'm glad, but it wasn't easy for me. And then the internet came around, and here's what's crazy, Jim. I've been in this industry for 20 years, going on 21. I raised my children in this industry. I got a 18-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old son. You do the math. Everybody, you know, we start young in the Bronx with children. But guys, I made more money in the last 4 years than I've made in the previous 16 years in network marketing. And the reason we made so much money in a short amount of time was because we learned how to do a few simple things, which, Jim, I would love to share those things in a few minutes, but I'm going to take a drink of water, pass it back over to you, because I just shared my story of how I got started in the industry, and then I'll kind of share how we got involved in the whole network marketing scene on the internet, and how we got ridiculed for trying to build it on the internet when everybody said, no, you can't do it on the internet. You got to do it face-to-face. But that was it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, that's actually a very similar experience that I got. The only difference was when I was doing the Belly and Belly old school, I have never really got any results. And then when I moved over to internet, my upline at the time literally ridiculed me and isolate the whole entire team away from what I was doing because they didn't want anybody to follow my footsteps on building my business online. But long story short, that obviously didn't matter at all. What's funny was that the postcard method, how you found your first opportunity from a book and bookstore. I used to do that. I used to go to every single bookstore, Borders,
the cards.
Exactly, and I would always be chilling around their self-help book section. And when no one's looking, I would start slipping postcards and business cards all over the book that you see in that section.
That's so funny, man. That's so funny. But you know what? I mean, it worked because it got us in the industry. I mean, but it's been great. But going back now, let's fast forward because network marketing is a great profession. But the problem with the whole entire industry is that it's a lot of lies and propaganda. People are really not taught the right things, and if you're brand new, if you're getting involved in the industry for the first time, even in the home-based business industry and the internet marketing world, one thing that I learned, and I learned this a few years ago, the things that changed my life as far as income goes and freedom went, is a mentor of mine told me, we were just talking about him a few minutes ago, Jim, but he told me, hey, Carlos, it's pretty simple. All we got to do is market what the world is already looking for. That's it. That was rule number one. Market what the world is looking for. The second thing we got to do is learn how to drive traffic, right? So you market what the world is looking for, and now you drive traffic to the offer, and you put your offer in front of that traffic. And I think that what people don't understand, especially in the direct selling industry, is that if you got a product that cures X, Y, and Z, that is not what we're talking about, that people are looking for it. For instance, people want to lose weight. We all know people want to lose weight. But that's too broad of a name, right? Lose weight is not the niche we're going after. But when somebody's looking for a particular brand name within that niche, and you could market to the people looking for that brand name, then you can make a fortune. And I tell you, overnight, we found a product and service that people was looking for already, and I'm talking about 200,000 to 300,000 people a month were looking for this thing every single month, like clockwork, Googling it, typing it in. So once we found out that they were looking for that, all we did was put our offer in front of that audience, and the rest was history. We ended up making more money in a short amount of time, working 10 hours a week. And the funniest thing is that the network marketing companies, they knew what we were doing, but they didn't want us to tell anybody how we was doing it. So when we had to go on stage to represent that company, Jim, this is where I get the bad taste. And my wife, I remember my wife saying, we're never going to go on stage for another company again if we got to lie to people. They actually told us they didn't want us to tell people how we was building the business. They wanted us to say we was doing parties and hotel meetings and all of that stuff. And so we pretty much had to go on stage and lie, and we couldn't teach people how we was really building the business. And so, the right way to do it is find a product and service that everybody's looking for, and learn how to put your offer in front of that audience. And once you attach drop shipping to it, because drop shipping plays a major role in this, and that's what we did. We did a ton of drop shipping, and we've just been enjoying life ever since. It's just been great. I'm not a babysitter to the phone anymore. I'm not a babysitter to a whole entire organization. I get to enjoy my life, enjoy my family, travel the world. And the cool thing is that I'm not the only one. Almost everybody in our team that work with us and everybody who's living this lifestyle, this is what we teach. And a lot of leaders out there, they're not teaching people the truth. They teach people what benefits, or they teach one thing, but they do something completely different. It's, they're hypocrites. They want you to build a business on the internet, but they only want you to do what they tell you to do, right? And sometimes that doesn't work in all cases. And I tell you, network marketing is great. Internet marketing is great. When you team up with the right people, learn how to do it, and there's a different market for everybody. Different strategy for each person, and I think that's important to understand too in this industry. And I think that I met some good mentors that taught me that early on. I had some buddies, Jim, that were able to build face-to-face because they had so much credibility that they can sign up anybody they want. But then they'll go to the opportunity meeting and they'll say, hey, I came into this, it's been 30 days and I'm making $10,000 a month. You know what? They forgot to tell the people that they had a whole bunch of credibility.
Exactly.
People looked up to them. People respected them already. So anything that they presented, people was going to join. When I joined the industry, I didn't have that credibility coming from the Bronx, and living the lifestyle that I live. So of course, people were going to say, well, I'm not going to sign up with you. And there's a lot of people watching this right now who might not have the credibility. And the internet levels out that playing field.
That's something we were talking about right before this hangout, that a lot of people are, and we're talking about leaders here that are making money, are hypocrites to their own teaching. They don't, they want to sell one image, yet they don't live that same lifestyle. And as far as credibility, that is the biggest challenge for in this industry for most people, and that leads to sponsoring. Usually, if you survey, let's say 100 network marketers, you ask them what's your biggest challenge, most of them will say biggest challenge is recruit more people. The lead generation, everything falls after that. Retention is only for leaders. So most people say recruiting is their biggest challenge. So why is that? And I can totally relate to what you're saying. When I first started, I was 18 years old, and 3 weeks before I joined my first company, I would ask my friends for money every other day for fast food. And here I am trying to sell a vision of, hey, we're gonna be driving Ferraris and making a lot of money in less than a year. It's just, there's a disconnect there.
There is a huge disconnect, and this is what people tell you. They go out there and a brand new person joins the network marketing industry or any business, and they'll say, go talk to all your friends and family, and the guy's 17 years old, 18 years old, never made no money, he's broke, and it's not going to work with that approach. It's not going to work with that approach. And I tell you right now, with what we have with the internet, what we have with technology, what we have here with drop shipping, let's talk about living that lifestyle. I mean, if you learn how to market, you could market anything as long as it converts, right? As long as there's a good marketing funnel and it's converting, you can drive traffic to it. And that's a lot. And what people are looking for today is, how do I do that, right? How do I drive traffic? How do I build a brand for myself so that people know me, like me, and trust me? And I think you do a good job at teaching people how to do that stuff.
Awesome. Let's go back to your story a little bit. So how did you transition exactly from the old school to online, and what were your biggest challenges when you first transitioned to a more online-based business?
Yeah, I think that the biggest challenge was overcoming being the ridicule and some of the other leaders, some of the old school people attacking the attack. And this industry can be really cruel, to the point that when you're doing well with a home business, and you could end up losing that business if you do something that the top leader didn't want you to do. And that actually happened to me. It didn't happen to me once, it happened to me twice. So the biggest challenge was trying to break through that barrier and show people that there is another way to build a business. It doesn't have to be face-to-face only. You could build it utilizing technology. And because technology was so new at the time, for instance, YouTube, right? I remember when YouTube first started, we set up the accounts and we started doing the presentations. You know, it hit me right away. Wow, I'm doing a presentation on stage, film me, and I can put the presentation and share with everybody else. So that was the first way we started utilizing the internet and utilizing YouTube. But when we started putting that out there, and then we started telling people, like, I'll bring you on, Jim, and I'll say, hey, Jim, this is what you need to do. Make your own video, put the video, I'll share our videos, right? Piggyback off our credibility. And that became a problem because I didn't tell you how to put together a list of all your friends and family first.
Yep.
And I think that was the biggest challenge. But the moment I realized that, you know what, I'm going to stick to my guns, I'm going to follow what I know is right, what I know it's working, I'm going to go out there and do it this way, and everybody can just watch me do it. And that's what I did. I just started doing my own thing, building my own culture, building my own community, and kind of what you're doing with the I Am lifestyle. And once I started doing that, I mean, it started working. We started building a nice following and people who believed the same things that we believed in. But it wasn't easy getting through the old school mentality and those old school thinkers and those people that start bad-mouthing you, they start writing about you, and oh man, it's crazy how cruel this industry can be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you really think about it from a logical standpoint, there is very little different about old school and new school, except for you create a lot more leverage in, you know, the online marketing. This Google Hangout, for example, the whole teaching the old school, and I remember that, you know, 3 years through that sector of things and doing 6 days a week training, and every single training we just basically train on the same thing, on how to invite more people back into the meeting and start promoting. You know, buy 10 tickets now for the next event, so I can sell the other 9, make a goal. And I know we've all done that. But you know, look at this Google Hangout, for example. We coded the page that you can put a dynamic your own affiliate ID, so that when you invite people here, that you automatically get credit when they move forward by clicking on the join the movement button. We have all that built in for you, and all you have to do is just invite people from the internet, people you know, people you don't know. It's the same thing. Instead of calling people to put on some clothes and get to a meeting on time, avoiding traffic, you can just tell people to, hey, go on your computer, go to this website, send them a link, they click on it, bam, they're here. This is really no different than a live meeting.
Yeah, it's great. It's cheaper. It's faster, it works worldwide, and the beautiful thing is that, see, when the meeting is over and like the real presentation is over, this Google Hangout, you can continue to use this video. You can use this video in your marketing. Your leaders and teammates can use the videos in their marketing. So we do the presentation once, and we do the Hangout once, and it's out there forever. Whereas in a hotel meeting, we do it once and it's done. That night is done. Which is no leverage at all, you know. And I mean, it's wild how many hotel meetings we used to do. You know, what's funny is that this is where the nonsense with the whole freedom. We all got involved in a home-based business, Jim, because we wanted to maybe drive those nice cars. We wanted to spend more time with our families. We wanted to travel the world. We wanted to do all of those things because this industry, that this picture that they painted was going to give us that, right? And it was also going to give us residual income, which I believe is just a bunch of bullshit, right? There is no true residual income because I believe things have shelf lives, and once that expires, it's done, you know. Or, you know, owners of a company can change their priorities. They can change their, you know, their mission. They can sell the company, and there goes your residual income. But we got sold on this whole big dream of having this freedom. But the better we became as leaders, in the old school way, the more work we had to do. So for instance, the better I got at doing presentations at hotel meetings, the more presentations I had to do for everybody else. The better I got at hosting training calls, the more training calls I had to do for everybody else. The better we became at doing Google, not Google Hangouts, but three-way calls, right? The old school, three-way calls. The better we got at doing these three-way calls, the more three-way calls we had to do. And my business grew so big that I would travel all around the world, and I wouldn't be with my family at all. So the bigger my business got, the less freedom I had. I was miserable. I didn't enjoy any bit of it. I was traveling back and forth. It was complete opposite from that picture that they originally painted. And then I looked at other leaders from these companies, and they were living that same crazy life. It was just like corporate America. The only difference was that it was your own business, but it was not a home-based business by any means, because we was never home. We was never home. We was always traveling. We had no time to spend with our families. And the moment the company shifted gears or changed the compensation plan or something crazy happened with that company, poof, there goes our residual income. You know how many poofs I had in my career? A lot of poofs. And that's the beautiful thing about learning internet marketing, learning leverage, learning how to brand yourself out there as a champion, learning how to drive traffic to converting offers. I mean, it works like clockwork, and you will continue to make money from multiple streams, and you can really enjoy your life. You can really enjoy your life. I will never go back to the old way we used to do things. If I did a big event and a live event, it's to teach people what we're sharing right now, how to live the lifestyle, how not to make the same mistakes that I made. And I know so many leaders in this direct selling industry, and they're not being honest with people, and it's just sad. And that's why this industry is going down, or people have a bad taste, and they say, you know what, that's an MLM, I'm not joining that MLM thing at all, not doing it, because people have a bad taste, because that's not real leaders teaching the real deal.
Carlos, I gotta jump in, and you crack me up when you say three-way calls. And it seems to me, and even a year ago, right? My been running online business, leverage a lot of internet stuff. But even just look back at a year ago, I was building a old school network marketing company, and I was making good amount of money with my business partners. And the three-way call example just really ring a bell to me. And a lot of times it seemed to me that the business wasn't duplicating the way it's supposed to, but the three-way calls was growing. It's almost like a 3x3. Every time you do a three-way call, 3 more comes in, and every time you do the new three-way calls, and because the people haven't even trained on the company, now 9 more calls you just receive the next hour. Man, if I can pull up the phone bills right now, I would if I have it handy. Look, my cell phone bill a year ago, it was over 10,000 minutes a month.
Oh yeah.
Three-way calls.
Easy, nonstop, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's sad is that those calls will come in when you don't want that call. You could be out with your family, with enjoying yourself, and that phone will ring. Or you could be in bed, having a good time, just relaxing, and that phone will ring at midnight. And it's a three-way call. You got to answer it because you're like, oh man, I can close this person. I can get this person in the deal, and you become a slave to this whole process. And we got to change it. We got to change it. And I think we're doing a good job at it now. And I think people have woken up, and they know that technology is here to stay. Building a business on the internet is here to stay. And all you got to do is learn a few simple skills. And that is driving traffic. One, right? You got to drive traffic. You got to learn how to drop ship. And it's funny, I mentioned drop shipping because it's a really good skill to have. Especially if you guys are watching this and you belong to an MLM company, if you knew how to move product, you never have an issue with auto ship. If you know how to move volume. And I think a lot of people, I know Kevin did a great video on it of why people drop out of a network marketing company. Because they don't have the money to cover their auto ship. I mean, think about it. If you got to come out of pocket $200 a month in, month out, and you can't make $50, you're going to be out of that. You're going to have to check out of that business quick. And when you learn how to do drop shipping, I mean, it's endless the amount of volume that you can move for your company, as long as people are looking for that product on these online marketplaces.
Yeah. Now, Carlos, I know that in network marketing, the more traditional sense, every single training we talk about, there's only two things that will pay you in this business. That's retailing and recruiting. Now, I know you from a couple of years ago. You were building a successful team, and you guys were literally retailing more than you guys were recruiting, and through dropshipping. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that? Maybe give some tips to our viewers today.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely touch on that. And that's one of the things that we're not supposed to share in those companies, right? And let's talk about that. Dropshipping and network marketing world. You could move a lot of volume, and what we did a few years ago, this is the first thing we did, and guys, write this down, this is important. First thing we did, I remember my buddy Tim called me up, he said, Carlos, look, come down here, we're going to meet up with the owners, and we're going to propose let them know that we want to move volume retail. And what we call this direct response marketing. And just like an infomercial, somebody sees an infomercial, they pick up the phone and they order the product. So we do this for network marketing, but there's only a handful of people that do direct response for network marketing. So the first thing you want to do is you want to look at, and this is what we did, is we looked at the company that was hot. It only works with a company that's hot, a company that's going through momentum, a company that has a whole bunch of old school marketers doing presentations, right? This is important for you guys to understand this. When there's a bunch of old school marketers doing presentations in homes, challenge parties, whatever you call them, what that allows, or what's going to happen after that, is that when people leave those hotel meetings or they leave those house parties, they're going to go on the internet and they are going to Google that company's products, or they're going to go to eBay, they're going to go to Amazon, they're going to do some research on those products. So we knew this. So a few years ago, what we did was we knew there was a company that was hot in the marketplace, and we went online and there was nobody really selling those products, Jim, at all. We couldn't believe it. There was about 350,000 people looking for these products every single month, but not one person retailing that product online at all. Not one person at all, period. So we said, oh man, we got a good one here, right? So we went down and we negotiated with the owners, and we said, okay, we're going to do this. This is what we're going to do. And if you guys, back us up on this and protect us, we'll pull a trigger and we'll start marketing it. And we got to a point where we were selling maybe $300,000 a month between 2 or 3 different stores, eBay, Amazon, and a couple of other online marketplaces. Think about that. $300,000 a month being moved of product to real customers that really want the product. Think about that. That's crazy. So what we did is, once we got customers to buy this product, customers will buy the product online, they'll buy the product, and then we will put the orders in the network marketing organization under the people or the teammates that needed the volume. So let's say, Jim, that you joined the team and you'll say, hey, Carlos, I want to qualify for a car and the car bonus, and I'm $3,000 short of that car bonus. I'll say, okay, no problem. I can put $3,000 of volume under you, and when you get that 25% commission, you just kick that 25% commission back to me. But I can get you qualified for that car today because we was moving that much volume. So what you want to do is, if you're trying to do this, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the company's hot in the marketplace, a lot of people are promoting it, and the product is being searched out online. So one thing you can do is you can go to compete.com. So go to compete.com, and what you want to do here is you want to do some research and check out traffic count. So you want to look at the traffic count. Another thing you want to do, and here's another trick, if you want to see if people are really making money, just go to compete.com and put in the back office of that company. And if there's no traffic, that means no distributors are logging in to check their paychecks. That means nobody's making money. This is another little trick. If there's a lot of hype and rah-rah, so if you really want to know if people are making money, just go to compete.com, put in the back office URL, and if you see 1,000 people logging into that every day, I mean, it's not good. That means not so many people are making money there. So what we did is then you go to Google. After you go to complete.com and you check out the traffic counts, I don't market anything unless there's 200,000 to 400,000 views online already. Because what this allows me to do, it allows me to put my offer, Jim, directly in front of that 200,000 people. So when the people are doing hotel meetings, and I know where they're doing those hotel meetings, I can put a Facebook ad, a simple one, and I'll say, if you like XYZ company in this area, like me, right? And I'll put Facebook ads like that, and they will drive traffic directly to our internet marketing stores. All right, so that's how we did it, and it's still going on today, by the way, Jim. Can you believe that? 4 years later, we're still making money every single day retailing products through a network marketing company, and we've duplicated this model not once, not twice, but 3 times with 3 different companies, completely on autopilot, and it works. And we can fuel the organization with what's most important, which is volume. We only get paid in network marketing for moving volume, and once you learn how to move volume, you can make money. We don't get paid for recruiting distributors. And the best way to move volume is to drop ship it, but you need to have a product that's in high demand or a service that's in high demand. That's one of the reasons we started marketing DS Domination with you, Jim. And I'll share that one really quick, why I chose DS Domination. See, I started drop shipping on Amazon and eBay network marketing products a long time ago, and that was fine. But there was never a training course out there that taught people how to drop ship at all. And then when we saw Kevin, we saw Roger, and everybody that came out with this training course, we was like, oh my God, $20 to teach people how to really do this. This is a no-brainer. Let's go out there and do it. Then I went to compete.com, I went to Alexa, and I saw the DS traffic count. And I knew that there was a lot of traffic because people want to learn this skill. They want to learn how to become drop shippers. They want to learn how to put products and services on eBay, Amazon, and Sears and Overstock and sell those things. So we knew that by marketing this training course, it will bring great value to the people in the internet marketing world, and especially in the network marketing world, that could allow people to stop failing and start really making money by selling their products on these sites, you know. And we've done it, you know, and it's working, and we've done it 3 different times. So just to, you know, it's worked big time.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I want to highlight that when you say earlier during this hangout, you were talking about there's no such thing as a true walk-away residual income, which I couldn't agree more. That was my theory I came up with literally about 3 years ago. And I call, you know, the industry term of residual income, I've coined that and switched it over to lifetime lifetime customer value. I kind of use different words to describe it. And you always want to ask yourself that, how long is a customer going to find value so that they'll stay on the auto ship or recurring program before they jump off? Because once your customers jump off the recurring program, then there goes your residual income. Now, the way that Carlos just talked about his way of building his previous 3 network marketing business, heavily focused on retailing product and then recruiting second, what that created is a longer lifetime customer value per customer, per dollar earned for those companies. Now I've seen literally, you can throw me any example that you want. I think I'll be right about 98% of the time. Any companies that goes through ridiculous growth curve based on people joining. For example, pre-launch companies. I know, Carlos, you're not into pre-launch companies because it completely doesn't fit your model. Now you see so many pre-launch companies even today, and you know, people call it whatever they want, or shiny object syndrome, or anything like that, right? They jump on board like 10 spots left, and Powerline pre-launch, and now you get a gazillion people under you. What I've seen in those programs is that it doesn't create any residual income at all. Now, maybe sometimes 3% of the time, the company will actually stabilize about between this month 6 to a year mark. And that may be a good choice, but again, that's like kind of buying a lottery ticket. You never know if the company will ever stabilize. So that's the risk that I see in jumping to shiny pre-launch companies.
Yeah, yeah. It's difficult. Most networking companies are pre-launch companies. They go out of business, just like any other business. I mean, so it doesn't matter if it's a direct selling company, internet marketing company. 98% of those companies will go down, and unless somebody's looking for those products and services, you're not going to make money. This is the sad, but it's true. And these pre-launch companies, they come out with the greatest products in sliced bread, but nobody's looking for them. So if you want to drop ship, if you want to make money, if you want to live the I am lifestyle, a rule of thumb is you need to market something that the world is already looking for. And that is the rule of thumb. And if you can find that, you can do really well. But you need to learn how to look for those things and just stay plugged into people that know how to do it, so that you can make money, right away. And another sad thing, and I just want to throw this out there, it's kind of maybe in a different direction, but it has to do with the profession of network marketing. I did this on one of our training calls. I talked about this, where we're all in this great industry of home-based business. But if you're with another company and I'm with this company, you're my enemy. Have you ever noticed this?
Yeah,
it's
like, all the time. Even the same company, different teams, people look at each other as enemies.
Yeah, a different company, same company, different teams, you're enemies, or I should have joined this team. And you know what, guys, we got to stop that. This is a professional industry. We got to treat it as such. And if you're in another team or you're with another company, and hey, more power to you. We're all a part of the same great profession, and we got to elevate this thing and make it respectable, just like an attorney that works for one law firm and a doctor that's in this hospital and I'm a doctor in that hospital. I think that when that shifts, people will love this industry. They'll love the internet marketing industry, they'll love the direct selling industry, and we need to, as a team, change that message and bring that stuff out there to the forefront, so that we could attract the really good quality people that will join if it wasn't as distasteful as it is.
Yeah, that's absolutely a great message. And we share a ton of value on this call already, and get to listen to your story in full and the whole dropshipping retail products. Most likely 91% of people on this call probably have never heard of that before, and it was funny, my friend came up with statistics that 68% of all statistics are made up on the spot, so I really have no idea how many people have heard of this concept, but most likely not. Anyways, I want to kind of have a clear call to action. Where's it's a little bit obvious at the same time, where should people go to learn more about dropshipping, ABC dropshipping?
Hey, they should just click that button right below the screen and join. Right there, just click the button, join, and let me tell you this, guys. For $20, you're going to learn a valuable skill that you can use. You could use this as a consultant, and I've done this. I've assisted local businesses and taught them how to sell their own products online. And when you go through this training course, there's 19 training video modules, plus the value that you're going to get from Jim's training, the value you're going to get from the company's live trainings, live hangouts, and for any other team's hangouts. Guys, you're going to get a lot for $20. If you went to a bookstore right now and you wanted to buy a book and learn how to sell on eBay, you're going to get a book that's outdated. The book is going to cost you more than $20. It's going to be outdated, and you're not going to learn how to do drop shipping in that book. I mean, this is a skill that's not taught in none of those print publications that are out there. So for $20, guys, why not learn a skill that you can take to the bank? Why not learn a skill that you can teach, train, and educate other people with, and you can write your own paycheck by becoming a consultant when you learn, apply, and master those skills? With drop shipping, just click that button. I tell you, $20, you cannot lose for $20. We'll go out tonight, we'll spend more than $20 and just grabbing a drink probably, right? Or just filling up your gas tank. It's going to cost you anywhere from $50 to $100 depending where you're driving. $20 to learn a valuable skill, and not only just skill from DS domination, but just to be able to learn the skills of living the I am lifestyle, Jim. I think that's valuable. It's definitely worth thousands, not $20. It's worth thousands of dollars. So guys, team up with us, join the I Am lifestyle, join this movement. Let's go out there, teach, train, and inspire people. Let's show people how to change this world. Let's make it happen together.
Yeah, absolutely. And the dropshipping skills is so critical that I think it's beneficial to anybody regardless if you're in network marketing or not. And the other thing is that it solves the biggest challenge of network marketing. Carlos was talking about when he first started network marketing. When I first started network marketing, nobody wanted to join us because we had nothing to show for. And dropshipping is one skill that once you acquired it, you can create income, and people don't care if you have sold products in the past before. If you sell a product at the right price with the right market demand, they'll just buy it from you. They're not going to Google your name and make sure you're a leader in the industry in dropshipping and selling baby diapers. They just get buy from you if they need it, right? So, and with that said, the affiliate program, and Carlos was talking about if your business is based on retail base, people buying for the retail value versus then joining to grab a position, your retention rate is going to be a lot higher, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now in DS Domination. Literally, I was talking to Carlos before this hangout, and I was telling him one of my biggest challenge these days is to have a sense of urgency to finish all my work on time, because we're literally running into a scenario that whether we go to work or not for the week, we're going to get paid a really decent amount, decent amount of residual income, whether we work or not. And that's a good problem to have. Right? We want you to have that problem. And the reason why is because people join DS Domination to learn for the retail course, to learn how to dropship. They're not joining DS Domination to, all right, let's activate my affiliate account, re-promote the program. So people are joining for the actual product, right, and not joining just to resell the business. And that's a key point, that doesn't matter what business that you're selling, you're marketing. That's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. We have, I was looking through my organization, and in most networking companies, the people that join are the people that want to do the business, right? They really don't want to join the product. And you'll hear people say, hey, Jim, even if I didn't do that business, I will still take that product. Man, the moment they stop doing that business, they cancel that auto ship immediately. And the cool thing about DS Domination is that 90% of my business, I can only speak for my business, 90% of the people in my team, because I looked at these numbers, are not affiliates. These are people that picked up the training course, the $20 training course. They're going through the modules, and they are out there applying what they learned, and they are making money. And they're making money not from the affiliate side of DS Domination, right? 90% of them are making money from the drop shipping side. This is their own business. This is money for their own families. And this is one thing that I always talk about, is you need to build a solid asset. And this is why I like the retailing side of the business, because when you have real customers that really want a product coming to you and shopping, you have a real asset, a real business. And eBay's not going to go out of business no time soon. Amway, look at that. I got friends in Amway that are selling on eBay. Think of that one. But Amazon is not going to go out of business anytime soon. You think Sears is going to go out of business? Overstock is going to go out of business? None of these online marketplaces are going to go out of business. So once you learn how to utilize these marketplaces to build assets for you and your family and move products that people really want for you and your family, this is your business. And nobody could ever take this away from you. You see, in network marketing companies, you can get that company taken away from you like this, right? They can terminate you from the network marketing company. The company can go out of business like this, right? You never know, right? But eBay, Amazon, and all of these online marketplaces are not going to go out of business, and you need to have some security, and drop shipping is a great way to not only diversify your portfolio, but have that real solid security and be able to build a valuable asset that you can pass on. Here's another cool thing. I got teenagers, and they're in the game with me. I mean, they're drop shipping already. They putting products on eBay. This is something you can do with your family, with your children, and teach them how to do this. Instead of giving them an allowance, let them make a few $100, a week selling a few items on eBay. Right? Simple. You can't do that with a traditional business. So you can't teach kids how to do this, but eBay and Amazon is a piece of cake. You know, when you go through these modules, people from all ages can do it, and it's a great asset. So Jim, I just wanted to throw that out there because, you know, I've been in this industry so long that it hurts me when a company goes out of business. But if somebody can set up an eBay store, can set up an Amazon store, can start drop shipping, it doesn't matter what happens to that company. They will still have their eBay accounts and their eBay stores, and they'll still make money day in and day out like clockwork.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just looking at time right now. We got a few minutes left, and I want to do something special to end this call. And you know, it's things that I used to do in personal development. You visualize the type of freedom you have based on a you know, when I used to do belly-to-belly presentations, I always ask people, what would you do if money will never be an issue to you again? And what kind of threshold annual income-wise would that take for you to achieve that dream? So, you know, your goal is not necessarily how much money you want to make, but what would you want to do with your life, and how much does that kind of lifestyle cost? So you reverse goal making. And, you know, I want to, just because, oh, and folks, I know last week I was talking about, I want to learn how to start a Google Hangout on the iPhone so that I can really show you some really cool spots. And then only a quick Google search later, I found out that it's not compatible right now yet. So that's why you see me here. But I really want to show you some of the residual income that, you know, just because we're focusing on the drop shipping side of things, the affiliate program of DS Domination is the most solid and stable affiliate program I've ever seen. And I've done product launches before, and the problem with product launches is you make a ton of money up front, and then it dies off weeks later, and your sales just trickles in. It doesn't maintain that amount, right? I've done 6 figures per week affiliate launches, and it doesn't last for that to have the IM lifestyle. IML lifestyle. Let me and my eBay thing just went off.
I heard it.
Yeah, that's from my phone right now. And folks, I can guarantee you, I barely even focus any time on eBay at all, and I still make sales. How do you do a screen share? This was something I was just looking at while you were talking, going through some business stuff, and it's kind of cool to see. Desktop 1, I think this is it. You see my desktop, Carlos? Hello? Carlos, you're on mute. Okay, you're back.
Yeah, I see it. I see your screen right now.
Okay, cool. I want to show you some of their affiliate, and this is literally on autopilot. I just have to log in every 2 to 3 days. Sometimes when I'm traveling, I get lazy. I forget to log in. You see a bigger transaction amount. I mean, this literally comes in. Now, this is coming from a kid that I used to make less than $1,000 a month working part-time in a retail floor salesperson. And now this income comes in on autopilot every few days. March 1st, I have actually 2 more paying transactions that you don't see here, but this is literally happening every few days. The first $25.95, there's some transaction fees after $2,600 went to the bank. Okay, a few days before that, on the 25th, remember February only went to 28th, so it's not even a 5-day gap. $2,400. A few days prior, 22nd, $3,000. Right, a few days prior on the 18th, we're talking about literally 2 to 3 day gaps. Another 25. We're talking about, and then -3, 18 minus 3 on the 15th, another 25. And I have so many pages of this, and you know, I want you to just visualize. And we talk about X amount of dollars a month. Just what kind of lifestyle would would this make a difference to, you know, in your lifestyle? And this is just so consistent, it's ridiculous. 15th again, 25, 11th, a few days, 27th, 7th, 25, 3rd, 0. Oh, that's a maintenance fee. I never drop 0. On the 3rd,
Jim, this is pretty much brand new.
Yeah, this is brand new. I haven't been building this for years. This is just. And based on people having success, they're not canceling. So now all your efforts are compounding to your existing effort. And I can show you pages after pages, and you get bored looking at this. But literally, I'm talking about And we're not talking about just fluff here. We're showing you the real substance on a solid foundation that you can build on, and you can start by just learning how to drop ship and make a few dollar profit. And from there on, in attraction marketing space, honestly, in my opinion, you should only be an expert if you know what you're doing. So once you start from the basics, you're making money. Now you can be an expert doing a little bit on top of stuff and really help people. You can't really sponsor people in this industry, and people will feel that you're not genuine if you're just recruiting them for the fact that you need to recruit them to pay your rent this month. Their energy won't come out really well. But if you're out there genuinely helping people, people will want to get sponsored by you. They'll send you text messages, call you, and say, hey, how can I get sponsored? And this is what we're talking about. And let me see. All right, I'm going to go back here. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I can show you pages of this, and Carlos, your back office is about the same, and just literally every few days, an avalanche of cash just shows up in the back office, and this is nothing Ponzi related, right? The last time I've seen something like this only happens in the Ponzi world. This is real commission of people paying money for a product that they actually want. So if you haven't joined, click on the join the movement button below this video. Do it right now, because this will be the best $20 you will spend so far in your journey in home businesses and online marketing industry. With that said, I want to wrap up this call. Carlos, any last word before we close out?
Just join the movement, guys. Go out there. As soon as you go through that training, apply what you learn immediately, and you be the judge. We're telling you, dropshipping is the way to go. It's a great skill, and you guys are going to rock it. You're going to enjoy it, and I am confident that it's going to work for you. That's it. Jim, back over to you.
Awesome, Carlos. Well, buddy, I appreciate you for jumping on this call, share a ton of value, your story. I've learned a lot personally. Compete.com, if you didn't take notes on that website, you better do it right now. It's so many nuggets. Carlos, I can't wait to look forward to having you on a guest on this hangout sometime soon in the future. Again, I want to thank you again. And folks, everybody, appreciate you for jumping on this call, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everybody. Later. Peace. Bye.